Hello again, students. This is your flipped vocabulary lesson for Storytown Lesson 26. For this lesson, you will need your vocab worksheet, a pen or a pencil, and optionally a highlighter. Let's get started with a review of the directions. Remember, you will watch and listen to this presentation on your own. Feel free to pause and go back as needed. Then you will write the definition or meaning of each word in the center column on your vocab sheet. And finally, in the last column, write a brief response to each question that goes along with the vocabulary word. Are you ready to get started? Let's go! Our first word this week is scale. Scale is a noun, which is a person, place, or thing. In this case, scale is a thing. The definition of scale is a measurement used to represent the size of something when its real measurement is too large to be shown. So we're going to use this word this week to talk about our planets. Of course, the solar system is way too large to depict in a textbook, so we have to use a version of it that is scaled down. You also did scale drawing projects in math, so you have some experience with this vocabulary word. Go ahead and answer this question. What is something in a classroom that is made to scale? Write your response on your vocab sheet. Our next word this week is impact. Impact can be a noun, but it can also be a verb or action word, just depending on the way it's used in the sentence. The definition of impact is when one object smashes into another. So the noun form is the impression that is made from the impact, and the verb is the action of being impacted. If we were going to use the word impact in a sentence, we could say it like this. The speed of the car made the impact much worse during the accident. What is a word that means the same as impact? Write your idea for this synonym on your vocab sheet. Our next word this week is barren. Barren is an adjective or describing word in a sentence. Let's look at the definition. Barren means land that does not have any trees or other plant life. So, when we want to use the word barren in a sentence, we could use it like this. NASA astronauts are hoping to discover that the land on Mars is not as barren as it seems. They want to find some life. What kind of place would be barren? Go ahead and write your response on your vocab sheet. Next, we have the word warped. Warped is a verb, but when we add the ed to some verbs, we can use them as adjectives. Remember that from grammar? Warped means something that is twisted out of shape, usually by heat or water, so that it does not function in a normal manner. So I could use the word warped in a sentence like this. The rain warped my vision through the windshield, so I turned on the windshield wipers to clear it. What is something that might become warped by extremely high temperatures? Write your response on the vocab sheet. Next, we have the word modeled, which is another word that can be a verb, but because we added the ed, we can also use it as an adjective or describing word. Modeled means when a surface has irregular shapes, patterns, or colors on it. You can use the word modeled in a sentence like this. Because of the modeled surface of the moon, many people from different cultures have imagined patterns in it, such as the man on the moon or the bunny. Now, in the square on your vocab sheet, draw a modeled design. Next, we have the word chasm, which uses the k sound for the ch pattern. Chasm is a noun, which is a person, place, or thing. In this case, a chasm is a thing. It's a deep split or crack in a rock or ice. If we wanted to use chasm in a sentence, we would use it like this. A deep chasm formed in the earth after the earthquake. Now, Think about this question. What is a famous chasm you have heard of? Our penultimate word this week is prominent. Prominent is an adjective or describing word. It's got one of our common adjective suffixes, ent. The definition of prominent is something very noticeable, and it might stick out from a surface. So we could say that a prominent feature of the Chicago skyline is the Sears Tower, not the Willis Tower. Now think of this question. What is a prominent part of a person's face? Write your response on your vocab sheet. Finally, we have the word distinctive, which is an adjective when it's used in a sentence. Distinctive means something with special characteristics that makes it easily recognizable. So, you could say the distinctive characteristics of an automobile are 4 wheels, an engine, and a steering wheel. Now think about this. What characteristics are distinctive about a classroom? Write your response on your vocab sheet. We've come to the end once again. So, what's next? Well, go back to review any words you do not understand. Highlight or circle any words you still have questions about, and we will discuss them in class. Then, be ready to play a review game in class using these words. You will read and understand stories that use these vocabulary words in them. Finally, you will use each word in an original sentence, and this will be your end-of-week quiz. As always, be sure to have your assignment completed on time and turned in by the due date, and we will see you next week.